My parents told me, you want to smile? Pay up. From the moment I was born, my parents drilled it into me that to keep me from becoming soft, I needed to pay them every time I demonstrated for unearned happiness. The day I turned 4, they started keeping a running tab of every time I looked happy, and this was money I'd need to pay back when I turned 18. My parents met working at a debt collection agency, where they bonded over making people cry. They'd compete to see who could extract the most money from the most desperate cases, then go out to celebrate their victories. When I was little, they'd fine me for everything. $1 for spilling milk, 5 for talking back, 10 for crying. They kept a ledger on the kitchen wall tracking every penny I owed them for being a burden. Dad would calculate the cost of my existence down to the penny, while Mom itemized my disappointments. I thought all parents kept running tabs on their children. On my 10th birthday, instead of giving me presents, my parents presented me with a laminated price chart. Smiling, $5, laughing, $10, visible joy, $25 per incident. They explained that happiness was a luxury I couldn't afford, and every moment of pleasure would be added to my growing debt. They'd already installed cameras to catch any unauthorized joy, and they showed me the Excel spreadsheet where they'd track every instance. By 18, you'll either be miserable or bankrupt, Mom said. We're teaching you that happy people are parasites who drain everyone around them, just like you're draining us. The first laugh after that cost me $10 I didn't have. They added interest. After that, I became some kind of emotional accountant. I'd budget my reactions. Could I afford to smile at my friend's joke? Was laughing at a movie worth the $50 it would add to my debt? I learned to kill joy before it reached my face, perfecting a dead expression that revealed nothing. The cameras made it worse. They caught everything. A slight upturn of my lips while reading. A chuckle I tried to swallow. Even the relaxed face I made while sleeping that they classified as contentment. Every morning, my parents would review the footage and present me with an itemized bill. Tuesday, 3:15 p.m. Smiled at dog, $5. Thursday, 11:22 a.m. Laughed at classmate, $10. By 13, I owed them $12,000. They charged compound interest and late fees when I couldn't make monthly payments from my babysitting money. They'd garnish my birthday money, my allowance, every penny I earned. When I had nothing left to take, they started selling my possessions to pay down the joy debt. Friends stopped hanging out with me because I was a black hole where fun went to die. I couldn't laugh at jokes, couldn't smile at compliments, couldn't even look pleased when I aced a test. Teachers thought I was depressed, but I was just poor. Every moment of happiness I couldn't afford pushed me deeper into emotional bankruptcy. I watched other kids laugh freely and felt like I was watching rich people burn money. By 15, I owed $40,000 and had nothing left to lose, so I decided to rack up as much joy debt as possible. I figured if I was going to be bankrupt either way, I might as well be happy. I started laughing at everything. Stupid commercials, my own jokes, the absurdity of my situation. I smiled until my face hurt, grinned through dinner, beamed during their lectures about fiscal responsibility. That's another $25, Mom would say, and I'd laugh harder. Make it 50, you ungrateful little bitch. I joined the drama club and got cast in a comedy where I got to laugh for 2 hours straight every night. The bill from that show alone was $8,000. I sang in the shower, unauthorized musical joy, $30. Danced in my room, physical expression of happiness, $40. And smiled at myself in the mirror just to watch the numbers climb. I felt free for the first time, because what more could they do to me? Well, when my debt hit 6 figures, my parents escalated from financial to physical enforcement. They started collecting in other ways. 1 minute of standing in stress positions for every dollar I couldn't pay. 5 push-ups per smile. 10 laps around the yard for each laugh. When I kept smiling through the punishments, they moved to public humiliation, making me wear a sign listing my debt and stand outside our church. Then they started going after other people. They sent invoices to my friends' parents for enabling joy transactions, threatened to sue my drama teacher for contributing to a minor's debt, and got me fired from my job by telling my boss I was a financial liability with poor impulse control. They isolated me completely, cutting off every source of both money and happiness. You think this is funny? Dad screamed as my debt passed $150,000. We'll garnish your wages for the rest of your life. You'll die in debt like the worthless leech you are. No one will ever love something as expensive as you. Then he slapped me across the face. But then the worst possible thing happened. I tried to get a bank account when I was 17, and that's how I discovered my parents had already destroyed my credit by opening cards in my name and maxing them out. I guess they didn't want to wait before they started making money off me. The bank manager saw a teenager with 6 figures of debt and called the authorities. And when my parents heard about that, they went absolutely crazy. Full story on channel linked below.